We're here as parents and educators because we know firsthand how COVID-19 pandemic and remote learning were a daily struggle for our children. As a parent of 2 young boys in our public schools, my family lived through these challenges. For over a year, these remote learning devices were the only link any of our children had to their classmates, their teachers, and their lessons. Their whole education was based on a remote learning device, and without it, there was no learning. Too many families were left completely in the lurch, stranded by unreliable connectivity, unreliable devices, and an unreliable Department of Education. The agency bungled the job. The DOE didn't have consistent procedures for distributing, tracking, and recalling remote learning devices across the system's 1,800 schools. 16,451 requests from students seeking remote learning devices in 2020 remained pending or unresolved as recently as of March of this year, 16,000. It's unacceptable. Our audit found that at least 3,000 students got more than one device. If there are children who simply did not get a device for a year and therefore essentially didn't attend school, shame on the DOE, shame on the chancellor, shame on the mayor. This is not new. We told the Department of Education back in 2014, long before the pandemic, when we issued our first audit of DOE's failure to properly account for its multi-million-dollar purchases of computer equipment. You know what we said to them? You don't have a system. You're not tracking the computers. We found computers in closets unused. We didn't tell you this last year. We didn't tell you this 2 years ago. We told you this when I first became controller, that you weren't doing your job. What happened to the children who never received a device or who didn't have a device for 6 or 8 months? We've got to make this right before school starts in September. You know those kids. Find those kids.